In the ancient land of kings and sages, where the sky bowed to power, and empires rose on the echo of swords, there lived a man of unmatched might. Kaushika, ruler of men, bearer of steel, feared on the battlefield, worshipped in the court. They sang of his victories, they trembled at his fury, but sometimes, on quiet nights, beneath a ceiling of stars, this great king stood alone on his terrace, and felt a silence he could not conquer, a hunger that no war had silenced. Before we dive into this tale of pride, power, and purification, if stories like this stir something ancient in your soul, like this video and subscribe to Vedic Wars. Together, let's awaken the fire of forgotten legends. One fateful day, King Kaushika rode into the forest and arrived at the peaceful ashram of Sage Vashishta. No guards, no palaces, just stillness. But in that silence was something extraordinary. A divine cow, Kamadhenu, a creature of heaven who could summon armies, feed kingdoms, and fulfill any wish. The king's eyes widened. How can a simple sage possess such divine treasure? His voice thundered, "Give her to me. I am the king." But Vashishta smiled, a calm that cut deeper than steel. "She is not mine to give, O king. She serves dharma, not desire." It was the first no the king had heard in years, and it pierced deeper than any blade. He left, but his pride did not. It burned, it whispered, it raged. "A sage has more power than a king? Then I shall become greater than all sages." Thus, the fire was lit, not by peace, but by ego. Kaushika returned, not with words, but with an army. The peaceful forest trembled with the drums of war. Soldiers marched, bows raised, and at the gates of the hermitage stood the king, sword in hand. But Vashishta simply sat, eyes closed, still, rooted like the Himalayas. Then he raised his staff, and from Kamadhenu's breath rose an army not born of blood, but of divinity. Celestial warriors swept the field. Kaushika's army crumbled. Elephants turned, chariots shattered, and in the chaos, the king stood alone. His sword still burned, but his pride broke. "I have ruled men, but not even touched the power of silence." Kaushika removed his crown that night, not in shame, but in awakening. "If silence can defeat steel, then I must learn silence." He walked away, from palace, name, kingdom, and entered the forest. There, among rustling leaves and endless sky, he sat and burned. Years passed, rain carved his skin, fire etched his soul, his tapa shook the cosmos. But the heavens, uneasy, sent a test. The celestial dancer, Menaka, she walked like moonlight, laughed like wind chimes, eyes like soft oceans, and Vishwamitra's heart opened. Love bloomed, desire awakened. They embraced, and from their union came Shakuntala, a daughter of earth and sky. But love too was a chain, and Vishwamitra, still climbing, let go, with tears, not anger. This path is not yet done. More years passed, Vishwamitra's power grew vast. He could curse, create, command the elements. He taught kings, he wrote mantras, he walked the path of the divine. But one day, a lesser sage mocked him, and in a flash, he cursed him. The fire returned, the old fire, and with it came doubt. Even now, am I still ruled by ego? So he renounced everything, power, pride, purpose. He sat again, not to rise, but to dissolve. And as he let go of every last desire, the universe whispered his true name. Vishwamitra, friend of the universe. Not a title taken, but a name earned in silence. If you've made it this far, let the story of Vishwamitra remind you, the hardest war is not against others, but within. If this resonates, like the video and help this story reach those walking their own silent path. The fire was quiet now, no hunger, no pride, only presence. And in that stillness, Vashishta returned. Not with rivalry, but with a smile. He placed his hand on Vishwamitra's bowed head and said, "Now, you are a Brahmarishi. No fanfare, no heavenly drums, just stillness, finally earned." Vishwamitra never sought thrones again. He wandered, he sang, he taught. From his soul rose the sacred Gayatri mantra, a hymn of light and awakening. He who once wielded weapons, now wielded wisdom. He who once burned with pride, now burned like a lamp. The king who fought sages became the sage who mastered himself. The story of Vishwamitra is not ancient myth. It is your story, my story. The war between ego and awakening, between fire and peace. So if this journey moved you, like, share, and subscribe to Vedic Wars, where stories aren't just told, they're remembered. Until next time, may you burn not with anger, but with purpose. May you rise, not by conquering the world, but by conquering yourself.